Well, one could call it a workaround. When Idaho became one of the first states to try to limit what flags can be flown on public property, that'd be not pride flags, the city of Boise went looking for a loophole, and it wasn't difficult to find. The law did not include any enforcement, but it did say cities can fly official flags. So that's what Boise did. In order to continue to fly the pride flag, City Council passed a resolution to make the pride flag an official flag of Boise. And they weren't alone. Salt Lake City did the same thing last month, and this week, so did Missoula, Montana. But does a declaration of official, a resolution, if you will, mean anything? And what's with Idaho being a test market for culture war laws? Joe Paris got some answers from a College of Idaho law professor who's about to open a whole class on such things.
A little less than 1,100 feet separates Idaho's state capitol and Boise City Hall. The separation of ideals between those buildings, though, is considerably larger. And fair to say that Idaho's new law on what flags can fly on government property has Boise in central view.
And without clear guidance, some government entities may display flags that promote specific causes or ideologies or political viewpoints. This bill will prevent that.
I did not run for office to remain neutral. I'm not neutral on any number of issues that affect the city, and I'm not neutral on defending marginalized neighbors and their civil rights.
Outside of political leanings, though, a core problem to some, simply the build of this bill.
It wasn't very well written, and I think that we've seen that both from the Attorney General's perspective as well as from the Sheriff of Ada County, in the sense that it has no enforcement mechanism. And without an enforcement mechanism, it's really just a dead letter law.
McKay Cunningham is a law professor at the College of Idaho, specializing in areas of constitutional law and Idaho politics. He points to a key difference between Idaho's and Utah's laws on flags.
For every violation, $500 a day. And I think that our Attorney General, Raul Labrador, has suggested that the legislature next session do the same thing or something similar.
But would that even make a difference? Boise made the pride flag an official city flag. This comes down to how a court may look at the law. It says, the official flag, singular, of a government entity may fly.
One flag for government entity. And that also raises a point that maybe prosecutors could make, and that is Boise now has 3 official flags. And does that mean that the flags that were adopted second and third are actually invalid? Those kinds of wranglings I think we're going to see more of.
Looking for more court fodder in the future? Well, you can extend this thought exercise to the pride flags that fly on Harrison Boulevard in Boise every June.
It's my understanding that that median is under the jurisdiction of Ada County Highway District. But the poles that have the flags themselves is city property. So that's another question. Is it Ada County that is allowing these rainbow flags to fly? And if so, they are in breach of this law. Is it Boise that has the control and is allowing these rainbow flags to fly? And if that's the case, it comes back to our last argument.
A central theme in this for legal analysts is the vague nature of the law. Seems like you could do a whole legal course on this and other Idaho laws. The Gem State has become a testing ground for all sorts of legislation, and Cunningham is set to do just that, host a master's course on applied public policy.
Find ways to better design, better evaluate, better implement public policies, laws that affect us all. Design laws that are data-based, that are ethically grounded, that are attempting to solve a problem rather than create a problem. And so I'm really excited about that kind of an approach to policy making.
And in case you were wondering, has it been a legal filing or something in this case? No, the answer is no. We know that there's been conversations between the AG and the city of Boise, but Brian, no one has stepped into the legal arena just yet. We will find out if and when lawmakers come back in January if they want to address the law. By the way, in that story, we mentioned the pride flag on Harrison. We confirmed this afternoon that for the 5th year in a row, those pride flags had been vandalized on Harrison Boulevard overnight. 3 of them taken down. They were pretty quickly repaired and placed back up. So that's 3 so far in June. It was, I think, 63 last year.
Yeah, it's just a bad thing that happens every year on Harrison Boulevard. Going back to this legal side of this, obviously the governor, the AG have all said, yeah, this law needs to be changed. So like you said, likely that's what's going to happen. Or maybe not. Maybe they just say there's always going to be a workaround, or there could be. other than changing the language of the law.
And another conversation I had with McKay is, would they go as far as making a state law defining what is the official flag, or how is an official flag created? Because as we highlighted, Boise City Council, they passed a resolution. If a different group came in, they could just undo the resolution. But this is what you talk about in terms of intricacies of what does the word flag, singular, mean.
Right. And every year with the Boise Policy Survey, flags don't make the list
That's true.
of importance of what the legislature should be talking about.
Never
Right,
has
thanks,
made
Joe.
it.